Alright, so in this run, I showcase some Dodo Rooster strats. If you aren't aware, Rooster actually used to be completely broken back before they nerfed both Dodo and Rooster. So the Rooster used to just spawn chicks with 100% of its attack, and the Dodo used to be 100% of its attack, then on level up it was 200%, and then level 3 was 300%. So they both got pretty severely nerfed, which you would think would make them kind of like obsolete and not really that good anymore, but that's really not the case. They're actually still a pretty decent strategy. And I think you'll see here it goes really great with Penguin, because what Penguin kind of struggles with is dealing with like one large unit. So you can try to counter that with like a skunk, or you could try to counter it with Dodo Rooster to give that like large amount of attack to that rooster so you can kill large things pretty easily. Anyway, as for this start, I got Cricket and Otters, which is a half decent start. This is actually more of a viable strat in 1v1s because of like the potential to pop melon armor with the cricket spawn, and that can be pretty good. But I was also thinking about going for like a 3 or 4 giraffe run, which is why I decided to do something stupid and sell the cricket and try to go for big giraffe. But as you can see, it gave me a bunch of dodos, so I decided, you know what, let's go with dodos instead. Sometimes I'd like change my mind halfway through. I feel like that's actually happened a lot in these arena runs where I'm like thinking I'll go for one specific thing, and then the game gives me a bunch of a different unit, so I just going up with end up going with that one specific unit. So that's what this run ended up being. And it's not just one Dodo Rooster. I wanted to like go all in and go double Dodo Rooster, which isn't really necessary, but like it worked out this time, so how bad could it be? Anyway, so now after the Dodo nerf, it gives 50% of its attack, and level 2 is 100%. So one thing you could also do in the past, when like ducks were also a good strat, is that you have Dodo chains. So the order of things is by attack. So highest attack thing goes first in battle. So if you put the Dodo with the highest attack in back, and then like in order of highest to lowest, they would scale. So the highest one would give it, and then the next one would give like that plus the highest one. And so you can see it was actually very good. But now that doesn't really work anymore if you have level 1 dodos. It can still work if you have 2 level 2 dodos. But just like a level 1 dodo, if I put the level 2 one before it, it would give all 6 of its attack, but then the dodo with like 8 attack would give half of it, so it would only give 4. So it doesn't really work anymore to do dodo chains unless that they're both level 2. And yeah, so I don't really recommend it. Going multiple dodos, I don't think I've actually ever really done this before. It doesn't seem like it'd be that necessary. Usually just one dodo is enough. And also, Dodo's a unit that you don't really need to get to level 3 most of the time. Like, if it really helps you and, like, it gives you a ton of dodos, you can go for it and then try to go Bison. But most of the time, in the late game, like, you already have enough attack. Especially if you're scaling the Rooster and Dodo with Penguin, you reach 50 attack, like, pretty quickly. And so level 3 would become pretty much useless pretty quickly. And also, you have to spend 9 gold to invest into level 3, so it's usually not worth it for some units. I also decided to buy a decent amount of Kansas run just because I knew I was going to be buying more roosters, and so they benefit a lot from attack. And when you're replacing a lot of things on your team, buying cans is obviously a good idea. So that was kind of the thought process here. I think I've just become like a can fan recently. I've started buying a lot more cans. They were nerfed so that like they originally gave +2/+2, and now they only give +2/+1. And I thought for a while that they weren't really that great anymore, and I would just be buying like pairs and stuff. But I've kind of changed my mind about that now, and I'm just buying a lot of cans. So I guess cans are actually good. I'm not really sure. My mind changes about like a lot of these things. Who knows? Like, maybe I'll change my mind again and think cans are bad. I have no idea. Things change in the meta, and I guess like you learn as you play the game, and things work out hopefully. So unfortunate loss here. Lost to like a Badger B team, of course. Didn't even get to the Badger B though. You can see that the cans already scaled the Dodo to above what it had in the shop. That happens a lot with giraffe scaling actually, where it's like if you buy cans, the giraffe scaling is actually just kind of useless because you buy onto the unit you have, and it gave better stats than what the giraffe scaling was doing. But that makes sense because cans get +2/+1, giraffe only gives +1/+1. I decided to freeze a turtle on turn 9. So I normally don't recommend doing this too much because like you want to roll for chocolates and things, but we have no melon armor, and I feel like it's really important on our team. So I'm just kind of hoping to roll into a pill eventually, and then I can combine the penguins and get the turtle pilled. Yeah, and then hopefully get like level 2 penguin. I get level 2 rooster pretty quickly, which is nice, and now the penguins are gonna scale both the dodos and the roosters. That's what's so nice here. And then you can also see the cans made the roosters 11-6. So like this scaling actually doesn't really matter here for the penguin, but that's okay. And I also got that pill, very nice. It's actually a weird decision. You can pill the you can give melon to the rooster or to the dodo. I'm actually not really sure which is better. Like, if you do melon the rooster, there's a chance it dies through the melon anyway, which is why I decide to just go ahead and melon the dodo instead, because, like, 42 attack is way too much for turn 11 usually. And there we go. There's the double Dodo Rooster. I'm glad I was able to get it. Now to just get everything to level 2 and everything will be scaled with the penguin. It looks pretty nice, doesn't it? I don't know. It's, Dodo Rooster, it used to be super lame, but now that it's like only okay, I think most people will probably be fine with it. Anything that becomes just like insanely OP, I think most people will just end up hating. I don't know what this team was doing. They just had a dirty rat that took away their steak on the seal. I mean, I guess hopefully they noticed that eventually, but sometimes you just run into teams that sabotage themselves and get more melon. Also, steak for the penguin looks good here. And then I can also put the penguin in front so that once I get this other rooster to level 2, you don't miss out on any spawns. And already, so the 23-26 is going to give 23 attacks, so it's going to have what? That's 38. Yeah, so we're already getting pretty close to max. It's looking pretty good. And then, of course, those spawn things with 19 attack each. So roosters, there's some counters to roosters, mostly splash attack and flies. Those can definitely ruin your rooster chick spawns. Otherwise, like, I don't know, it would be a really good unit if there weren't any counters to it. But because those things exist, I think it makes it so like rooster isn't super top tier. It's still a pretty good unit, but like I find myself not taking it very often, and I still do pretty decently. So I think it's like a B or A tier unit, depending on like I don't know, just different things in the game. I'm not really sure how to explain it. One other interesting strat actually is you can go Dodo Leopard. You might have I don't know, maybe you've seen it before, but as long as the Dodo has higher attack, then it will give the attack to the Leopard, and then the Leopard shots will go off. There's a lot of things you can do with Dodos. You can go Dodo Crab early on, you can go Dodo Ox, and of course you can go Dodo Rooster. So just a lot of different options that end up all being pretty good. This was a very close fight there, you can see. Just barely able to trade with that Swan. And now I decide it's the last round, so not worth going for level 3 Penguin. Instead I just buy food. And I don't really have any other options, so I just buy an apple. Sounds good. I guess it would be better to buy the Dodo in case I want to go for level 3, but that doesn't make any difference. And then the beautiful Dodo Rooster team has 50, 18, and then another 47 attack Rooster. So just overall, really good team, and there we go. Managed to pull it off. It was a pretty close one, but Dodo Rooster is still pretty good, and a viable strat if you want to try it out. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you.